The smiling shadow in the tree. When my grandfather was a boy growing up in Fiji in the mid to late 1950s, he and his siblings experienced something strange on their family land. They lived in a one-story house on the estate, and every day the children had to walk down to the river to fetch buckets of fresh water. At night, those same buckets would be kept in the kitchen. Every so often, my grandfather would wake to a strange slurping sound coming from that area. It was enough to keep him wide awake. He would try to wake his older brothers to check it out, but they were always half asleep and brushed him off, telling him to ignore it. One night, he finally gathered the courage to see for himself. He told me that when he stepped into the kitchen, he saw a small, shadowy figure hunched over one of the water buckets on the bench. It looked like a child, but so dark it was almost pure black. The only features he could clearly see were the whites of its eyes and its teeth. It stopped drinking, slowly turned toward him, smiled, and then ran. He chased it outside, just in time to see it scurry underneath the house. Dropping to his hands and knees, he crawled after it. But once he got under there, it had vanished. He stayed under the house for a while, even lifting up chickens and searching every corner. But whatever it was gone. And that wasn't the last time he saw it. A few nights later, as he lay drifting off to sleep, he stared out the window at the large tree just outside his room. Something on one of the branches was moving, unnaturally. He squinted into the darkness, trying to focus, and that's when he saw it again. The same small black figure. Terrified, he bolted into his parents' room, so panicked they could barely understand what he was saying. The sightings continued for weeks. Eventually, his parents moved one of his brothers into his room, assuming it was all just imagination. For a while, things seemed to settle. Then one night, as he hovered on the edge of sleep, he heard his younger brother whisper his name. He rolled over to see him sitting upright, eyes wide, frozen, staring at the window. My grandfather followed his gaze up to the tree. There it was. The small dark figure sat on the branch, staring down at them. Its smile was wide and bright, almost unnaturally white against its pitch-black form. They didn't sleep at all that night. They just lay there, too afraid to move, watching as it watched them. The next morning, they begged their family to believe them. No one did. It was dismissed as a nightmare. That night, they decided to sleep in the same bed. Sometime after midnight, my grandfather woke to his brother shaking him again. When he looked toward the window, the figure had moved closer. It no longer sat on the branch. It was right at the window now, still smiling, unblinking. Then it left. It dove from the tree, through the window, and straight toward them. He said the room was swallowed in complete darkness. After that, he remembers nothing. The next morning, he climbed the tree and hung a rosary on the branch. He told me neither he nor his brother ever saw the figure again. To this day, none of them like walking past cemeteries or old houses at night. They laugh about it now, but honestly, I think I'd feel the same.